Ladies and gents, you've suffered and scrapped through a whole year of waiting, but the moment you have all been anticipating for quite some time has finally arrived. You've probably already heard the miraculous news before, but there's nothing better than to spread the well-worth-it hype. Welcome all into the announcement of the Owl House's Season 2 launch date and more. They even were bold enough to tease us fans with the new introduction for Owl's sake. And so without further ado, and speaking of introductions, you already know what time it is. Roll that intro. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is rate the Season 2 introduction and compare it to its predecessor. And right off the bat, we can tell that the Season 2 intro was animated much more smoothly, like what we witnessed the animation team was capable of, judging from the 18th episode. And though admittedly there doesn't seem to be as much action happening on screen when compared to Season 1's introduction, once again, the animations are much more improved. With Luz showing off her advancement in magic wielding through paper drawings, Willow displaying her powerful plant magic, Gus showing off his illusion spell mastery, and of course Amity demonstrating her powerful abomination magic using alongside with her new apparel, much like Luz when she first acquired Ida's homemade magic cape. I believe the most significant change to the intro was for sure this part with the 3 tiles, which changes the mood of the show a lot more. Because before it was simply a border showing Luz's friends and soon to be extremely close friend, as opposed to Lilith, the potential future threat sent by Emperor Belos, and Kiki, who I still to this day can't believe has such a simple name. Anyways, afterwards would be a transition to King conquering a pillar of stuffed animals, while in the new installment it's of the 3 tiles flipping horizontally and Belos taking the screen. Next seemingly appears to be the exact same sequence as the original season introduction, except with better lighting and a few tweaks here and there. Like Ida's ring being shown holding her staff, the discoloration of her left eye after the events of season 1 finale, a more detailed night sky background towards the end, and a much better color shadowing within Luz's pupils. And now for the moment that you've all been truly waiting for, which is of me analyzing the living crud out of this thing. Now, compared to the original, before was the opening of the same eye portal door that allowed Luz to be transported into the Boiling Isles dimension, with this one possibly resembling the refurbished edition of the portal to the human realm, considering its destruction and Belos' new plot in reconstructing it. This also could be the introduction's way of hinting that this season will be even darker than the last. As mentioned before, this is of Luz performing her paper magic alongside with her wearing the same attire Ida provided her with before her capture. A few frames later is of both Ida and King appearing in the intro, only for Ida to have her design change due to her curse worsening and split with her sister Lilith. It could just be the intro, but it seems as if she's able to perform some magic as opposed to her struggling to like in the finale, followed by Luz saying that she's willing to teach her on how to do her magic her way. This may be her mastering those methods, but I'm not seeing any slips of paper. I'm certain that the part everyone really wants me to get into is of this part when the slides of Lilith, Belos' skilled assassin I'm guessing, and Kiki appear. And just moments later, the slides flip showing the characters unmasked, no pun intended. Now you see why Kiki keeps her uniform up to cover her face. I also found this interesting since she clearly seemed to be intimidated by Luz in the season finale, yet for whatever reason we're supposed to believe that she can potentially become a supposed threat in the future. The center tile is a partial face reveal of the very same trusted ally of Emperor Belos teased during the finale. And is it just me, or does he just seem to be on the young side? I don't know, he looks like he's in his teenager years or something. Maybe he's gonna be one of those people that try to blend into Hexside and maybe try to capture Luz and the rest somehow that way. And judging by his attire and demeanor thus far, I don't think that he's gonna be as friendly or unprofessional as the other guards and wardens. Even more evidence showing that the stakes are gonna be much higher, not literal stakes, and that most likely this will be a darker season. On the far left is of a Lilith that seems to be full of regret and is suffering from the owl curse she placed on her very own sister years ago after willing to equally share that very same burden. And how can we forget about the rest of the background of this imagery? One side displays the Owl House while the other shows Emperor Belos' castle. Could they somehow be connected, or is it just showing the contrast and differences between the two? And oh, The top border of this thing is extremely noteworthy, as they clearly resemble the 9 covens of the Boiling Isles, or at least, the main 9 covens. But the true questions are, why do these creatures matter? Do they resemble the 9 covens' primary source of power? And if so, could this be pertaining to when Ida said magic always has to come from something? Will these creatures have knowledge about the true history behind magic use and not the potentially skewed history and restricted use of magic teachings that Bellows spread across the land? There are many scenarios that could happen with these reveals. I mean, we still don't even know Bellows' true intentions on why he's so interested in the human realm, let alone whether or not he's actually speaking to an ancient titan. And in speaking of the titan, we have small icons of the titan surrounding the top and bottom border of the ending art, possibly hinting that we are going to get more answers behind the titan and whether or not Bellows actually is speaking to him. Hopefully that is one of the answers that we get. Another nice detail placed into this moment is of 4 coven elements expelling from the title instead of just a single spark. And that's pretty much my coverage of the introduction. The final piece of this video is a short overview of when to expect the next episodes. And of course, your favorite, what to expect from these episodes. Most likely. The first episode of the second season will be on June 12th, which will be about Luz searching for a bounty in order to support the Owl House financially, I'm guessing. Since Ida usually runs these errands and cons her way through life, but now she can't due to certain limitations, her sister's curse. And this may be a different vibe coming from this episode because like the finale, it's not as if Ida can be there to help save her, unless she suddenly learned new magic in time. And the fact that Luz will be traveling overseas will be interesting, since there could be more land undiscovered until this very episode, or at least land that we haven't witnessed ourselves. The second is finally the reveal of Amity's really dumb parents, alongside with Luz confronting them after they attempt to kick all of them out of Hexside, possibly due to them being wealthy and not wanting Amity to be surrounded by people lesser than her, much like how they wanted Amity to spend less time with Willow in her younger days. Echoes of the Past may be an even more significant episode than it appears to be, as this could slightly answer the question of whether or not King truly is the king of anything. We've seen glimpses of him nervously making up titles about himself, and at this point, he may not actually be the king of demons, but potentially something else. His grandeur or his high ranking of himself probably gets him into trouble and or leads him into a new location where he could have derived from. Now, just like the first episode, it sounds like this season could be about ultimately traveling the different areas of the Boiling Isles, learning more about the world and maybe its secrets. So what do you all think about both the new introduction and the 3 new titles given to us? I personally can't wait to get right into the Owl House again, because my curiosity has honestly been haunting me with many questions, and I am ready, baby. And so, I guess that's the end of the video for now. Please remember to subscribe if you still haven't for some reason. Prepare for the Amphibia Season 2 finale this Saturday evening, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!